That's
June
just something to
25th,
keep in
AIPAC
mind
meeting.
as we move on. I'm going to pass it off to my right.
I'm Rachel Cobb. I'm just a parent.
I'm Jill Lofeld, school board.
I'm Amber Lightfeather. I'm the co-chair.
I'm T. Goodsky, voting member.
I'm Curtis Goodsky, parent.
Kelly Eater, school board.
Betty Green, community member.
Justin Christian, liaison, Lincoln Park Middle School.
Don Melton, JOM chair, Title VI vice chair, and parent. Way too many teenagers.
Jennifer Durable, parent.
Brenda Goldfein, I'm a special education teacher for the school district and I'm the staff.
Stephanie Williams, school board. Duluth Full AIPAC member, senior education faculty member, parent.
Whole APAC member and a parent.
Hillary Pohl, parent.
Sheila White, coordinator.
Shalom Monroe, family and community engagement specialist.
If we could have the people online introduce themselves.
I'll start. Anthony Bob.
Simone Zunich, business services.
That's it.
Danny Dunphy, community rep on board.
And everybody else is here in person.
Hi, welcome. It's Sledden.
We have an extra up by Jennifer.
Jennifer doesn't bite.
Well, it looks independent.
We just did a round of introductions, if you don't mind introducing yourself.
Hi, I'm Kim Kolas. I'm the executive director for the Duluth Community School Collaborative.
Thank you for just coming in and doing.
Well, you're on the official side. I should be over here.
We're spread all out.
Sorry for the delay.
No worries. Okay. As far as official committee members, just to be clear that we have a quorum present. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 committee AIPAC committee members present. Quorum has been defined as 6. So we will move forward with our agenda. We have, next on the agenda is approval of minutes. We've had several AIPAC committee meetings, regular schedule, and supplemental throughout this year. We don't have official approved meeting minutes for a lot of these. There's some discussion of the accuracy of those minutes. I don't want to delay this with all of that, so I am going to just read off the dates and the locations of those meetings. If anyone objects to any of these dates or locations, let us know, and we will, if people want to schedule a meeting minutes meeting at a later date, we absolutely can do that and get those actually finalized, and that will be the whole focus of that meeting. Does that sound good to everybody? Any objections? Hearing none. Okay, here's our meeting dates. Our first official regular scheduled meeting was on August 21st, 2024 at Denfeld. The second was on September 18th, 2024 at Denfeld. On November 8th, 2024, we had a supplemental meeting On January 22nd, 2025, we had a regular scheduled meeting at Denfeld. On February 5th, 2025, we had a virtual supplemental meeting. This was requested by the American Indian Education Department and the Minnesota Department of Education with Jane Harstead and Betsy Blacktop. That was to assist with our American Indian Education Plan. On February 12th, 2025, we had our regular scheduled meeting at Denfeld. On February 20th, 2025, we had a supplemental meeting at ACO. This was requested at our meeting on February 12th, 2025 to discuss the vote of concurrence and non-concurrence that was required by statute for March 1st. On April 9th, we had a regular scheduled meeting at Denfeld. On May 7th, we had a regular scheduled meeting at Denfeld. And on May 28th, I have on here 2024, but that should be 2025. We had a supplemental meeting here at the District Services Center, and this was specifically AIPAC training for both committee members and district staff with Betsy Blackhawk from MDE. Are there any additional meetings that should be on this list or any changes?
At the top of my head, I don't know.
That's okay.
I agree.
That's okay. Go ahead.
There's one change.
Yep.
November 8th.
November 8th. Okay.
That was requested by co-chair Amber Greenstein, coordinator.
And I'm glad Jen Garbo is here because she made that request to me, and I, as according to our bylaws, then disseminated that information, correct?
Yep, I asked the Ambers to
we agreed that this is what happened.
Okay.
So I do not believe district representation would be available. I will reach out to both ACO and One Roof Community Housing to use either of those spots, just because they're kind of local. If that's okay with everybody. Okay.
What's our date? I'm sorry.
Monday, July 14th.
Okay.
I do have a meeting during the day between 12 and 1. But other than that, I would be available. Can we do an early afternoon? Is like 3 p.m. okay, acceptable? 3 p.m.? Okay.
I can't be there until 3:30.
Okay, then let's go with 4. I'm just going to put it in my calendar right now. APAC meeting minutes. Review session. And then I will work on getting space to do that. Huh? Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yes, regarding anything that is needed, we all know that Sheila's last day is this week, and if that meeting is occurring, if there's any information that is needed from the department, just please let us know within the next few days, and we can try to make sure we provide you that information. If there's anything that is needed from the department, even though she's departing, we'll make sure that you get that information if we have enough notice to prepare it.
Okay, who would be our contact person in that situation? Gray won't be on contract during that time. Would it be you?
Yeah, just myself and Shannon Brown.
Okay. Sounds good. And I will send out an email once I have a space confirmed. Okay. Next on our agenda is department reports, but there's other business that will be relevant to program planning purposes, so I'm going to just shift that down on the agenda. Next, we have committee member reports. Last year at our May 21st meeting, May 21st, 2024, so that would be the previous school year, we had established some subcommittees. Myself and Amber White-Feather, and she has moved on from us, but it was the previous Lincoln Park liaison, established a curriculum review subcommittee, and this was just kind of if anyone in the district wants input from the American Indian community or members, we just kind of existed, to run that by us and review anything, that came up. We reviewed, I believe it was 5th grade classroom content from Paul Schoenfeld, math and science STAR curriculum over 4 days. Was that in March or April?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was really good and just provided input, sat in the classroom while they presented to us, gave some feedback on anything that we thought was good, we thought needed work, you know what I mean? So that's some of the work we did there. I've also been sitting on MCA community sensitivity and bias review sessions. I've done about 6 this year. Once I got in, then they just keep sending you the emails. So I've done the alternate math and reading assessments for all grades, and then the reading assessment for both grade 8, and then I have another one 2 days, tomorrow and the next day. So just kind of inputting, this is kind of what we've done as far as that goes. I know other committee members have done things, so I kind of just want this to take a minute and give everyone a chance to say, highlight the good work we've done and what we've contributed, you know what I mean? So if anyone else wants an opportunity to speak, here's your time.
I did MCA reviews in years past. I didn't do it this year, however.
Were we invited to do the MCA review?
There had been an email, and I think I disseminated it in the fall. You have to sign up through
I think I signed up and I think I didn't go.
Okay, because then they need consent to reach out to, and once they give you that, then, and it's really nice actually because they do pay you for your time.
Yep,
to do
I did
that.
see that.
You know,
Sorry.
so
Okay, I see. I understand.
if you get that opportunity, I really, really strongly recommend it. It's important to get community voices in there, so yeah.
Going on, Jada.
No worries. We're all busy with different things. Everyone has different strengths.
I thought the Lincoln Park Middle School Honor the Children, I think was it? I thought that went really well this year.
Yeah, my
don't know.
kids enjoyed it.
It felt like a positive community event. It felt like a lot of different areas came together, and I thought it was a nice event. Is that what we're sharing right now?
Yeah, honestly, I just wanted to give committee members a minute to just, you know what I mean. It's been a hard year, so I want to highlight some of the good things. You know, there's been a lot of good too.
I want to highlight Cadell. She's a 4.0 student. Made it to sections for track. 5 was her number. She placed 5th in all of her events. Very promising young athlete for Denton High School. So she's a 3-sport athlete, and then she does also other sports on the side that are not school related, such as body weight, and is very active in that. So yeah, one of the successes of that.
That's a double clap.
And she just ran the half marathon this weekend.
She's like, Mom, stop.
She comes from a family of a long running history.
I started a garden. Sorry.
Okay. Last off, anyone else wants to say anything? We can move on. Going on to old business then. Inventory of department materials. This has been something that has been on our agenda
morning that day, facilities took back the materials that didn't belong to us. And then, yeah, so that's what happened. There was a lot of confusion. Our next step for that, for the supplies, is to take inventory. So we didn't catalog anything. We still have stuff here that needs to be taken. We have a lot of materials, resources, boxes of, textbooks that are in the liaisons' offices. You could see when we did the tours that they're busting out with all the materials stored in their offices. So I would recommend to take inventory of all those, get them moved to the storage unit, and then start taking, cataloging, labeling all the materials.
Okay, and this is just relevant for program planning. How much does the storage unit cost, and will, like, what funding stream are we expecting that to come along?
So, because we were, in need of a storage unit, we found U.S. Storage, which is $341 a month, and we took that out of the title.
And the plan that was presented to us for the title plan didn't cover that for next year.
No.
So I understand that it came out of titles, which ends June 30th, our fiscal year. So as far as next year, are we giving up the storage shed?
We had hoped that we would have all of our materials already in place somewhere within the district. We just haven't found an adequate space.
Have we talked to what's Betsy's title? I think she's like the state aid program, like, administrator or something. And she basically, if it doesn't fall under that list of approved expenses, would the storage shed be an approved expense under the state aid grants? Do we know? Has anyone asked that? Okay.
I got a question. So, was the facility, department, was they were supposed to find another area for this stuff? Or who was? We were supposed to find?
Well, I think every department's responsible for their own storage. There's not enough storage within the school district to store.
Right. Well, no, I get that.
So that's why we have the storage out there. It's a 20-foot storage unit.
Right.
It's controlled heat. Nothing's going to get damp or destroyed. It's under security 24 hours a day. But there's just so much out there in the other schools that everything should be put in one area, inventory, and then have your list. So, Dustin, you need supplies. Here's a list.
And what is the parent expected to be doing this stuff? Or is there hire people? I mean, I know that we had said we were volunteering or something like that for inventory.
I volunteer myself. I mean, it's for the kids eventually, they're the ones that are going to benefit.
I volunteered for like sitting down and doing, just not moving a bunch of stuff around the house that we didn't know.
It was a mess at the News Tribune.
Yeah.
You saw the pictures.
Yeah, I saw the pictures. I was like, wow.
Unfortunately, what we come across is everything was shrunk wrap by time we got the storage unit. And I think what they did is just pick stuff up and start stacking pallets. So unfortunately, some of the pallets that we opened the top layer were Indian education. The rest were biology, dental. It was all mixed in. So
Is there a great thought that a lot of the stuff that's still over there might be our stuff? Or we don't know, we have no idea.
No, we went back a few times to make sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that part's done.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have to have it cleared out.
So I don't mind lifting or moving things around or helping organize. I think it would be a good project. We could get other parents to help as well.
I had volunteered, but I didn't hear anything back.
Yeah, many hands make light work. I think we could make a day of it, hopefully, just make sure.
Well, the goal is to get everything up, from one area to another, so we could pick a day or two. I volunteered a couple tables. I thought we would need lights, but both ends of the storage open up, so there's air that comes through. It's lighted, it's nice, it's in a cool environment like this. Yeah, get a couple parents to.
Instead of getting another container or another shed, we're just gonna get things and spread them out? Is that what we're trying to do here?
Well, once you look at the storage unit, it would be great to have some shelving brought in.
So are we keeping that shed, or is that, we got two
That's,
areas and that's it?
I mean,
Well, we gotta
what
move
was
that
the
stuff
goal
out
on
of
that?
there by the 30th, is that what we're getting at?
Well, it ends on June 30th, so it's only like less than 10 days.
Yeah, so whoever, I mean, we'll have to,
Figure it out.
yeah, who's gonna pay for it, but it's in a safe location, it's secured right now, we just have to
So
see.
do we ask for another month, maybe?
I don't know.
Is it a month lease, or is it?
No, they're not kicking us out at the end of the month.
Okay.
And that, I'm sure Sheila can, or Anthony can give a phone call there.
Do we need another month, maybe, or?
So I guess I need to know whose name is the storage shed under? Is it under Duluth Public Schools IC 709 as the fiscally responsible agent for paying this? And I guess that's my question. If it's not part of our state aid grant and our title is, it wasn't included in our plan for title, so thinking we can use title since it wasn't included in that, I don't think that's feasible. That should probably be brought up to Betsy Blackhawk and make sure that it is an allowable use of our state aid grant if we intend to keep it. You had said it was $341 a month. That comes out to $4,092 for the year.
Anthony's got his hand up.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Thank you, and please remember, this is a temporary storage solution. When the DT building is fully renovated, there will be proper storage for materials on the at the factory building that's being built out. So if this is not an allowable expense, we will take care of it. So just know that if it's not something that's allowable by the grant, we will take care of the storage fees moving forward.
Okay, good to know. Who currently has the keys or permissions to access that? And if parent volunteers are going to be expected to do this inventory, do we have access? Or how will we get access when we do not have a staff member we can ask for that's readily available in these summer months? I guess is my.
Is there a code or an access key, or is there a punching number, or?
There is a code that we need to get in and to get out.
Okay.
There is a separate key for the padlock, and they are locked up in Gray's filing cabinet.
Okay.
And this would be something like we would need to have, like a district employee, I'm assuming, since it's a district contract.
Okay.
And Gray's office.
So that would require, I guess, someone from the district reaching out to us as parents, saying, this is the day I'm available to come to go to the storage shed and deal with this. Is there any volunteers who can come help? Is that how I'm understanding this? Go ahead.
Well, and I'm wondering if we need to do anything. I don't know what it looks like, but if Anthony is saying there's going to be space, do we just leave this? And then once it gets moved to wherever the next storage spot is, then we worry about rearranging? Because what are we going to do if we're finding things that don't belong to us, then packing up boxes and bringing them? You know what I'm not sure what we would do with the stuff. I'm just thinking, as a district employee, there's always been a spot where I know I can access things. So, there's some things up here that I know I can find
think what you're saying makes sense, Brenda. Maybe just waiting until we can get through the turmoil and it's settled. It has a definite space where we can get in. That's maybe not the storage shed. We can still organize at the storage shed, but yeah, if
But if it needs a district employee to access that, and our liaisons are off contract during the summer.
Oh, I see.
Well, you have facilities that work all year. So
Okay.
I'm sure one of them can come down and be there with volunteers.
Yeah, again, there will be support from the district. Please contact myself and Shannon Brown, who that we meet the requested needs are presented to us. So if days are presented, if you identify the days you want to look at storage, we will look at that and we'll make sure we are there to open it up and make sure parents are accommodated. So just please know, I want to make sure this is very clear that there is support. Please reach out to myself and Shannon Brown, email us.
Okay. Sounds good. So then maybe we plan a work session over the summer to get parent volunteers who want to do this work, and then we'll pick some dates and we'll let Shannon and Anthony Bonds know. Summer's busy for everybody, so sometimes that gets difficult, but just let's keep it on our radar, keep it on our agenda, and keep circling back to it. Any more discussion on inventory of department materials?
I just have one quick follow-up. So we want this inventory session to be a parent volunteer opportunity. Would this be a good time to invite parents in?
Yeah.
To say.
It absolutely would.
Okay, maybe.
Because these are the supplies intended to support their students, so I think it would be open to anybody. At our MBE training session, we were told that our AIPAC consists of everybody in the district and community as outlined in statutes. So
Okay.
it would be open to anyone who wants to support that.
Maybe we could make a flyer when we
Yeah.
get the date and send it.
Difficult to send it out other than, like I said, we passed around that email list unless as parents we've gotten their emails. I mean, we all have significant community connections, so it'll take a little bit of effort on our part making those bridges to the community to request, their support.
Just remember though, this is a 20-foot storage unit with stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to be able to have 10 people walking around in there.
If you think we could get
You're
10
gonna have
volunteers,
to-
I would welcome all of them and hope
And
5 show up.
You're not going to be able to pull stuff out, put it down the aisleways because then you're blocking others and
Mhm.
you won't be able, so you're very limited maybe.
Yep. But if we're just like lifting up an item and say we have 5 copies of
Well, I can tell you some of
book.
these cases, there's hundreds and hundreds of books that they're old, right? Duplicates, boxes, so it won't take that long to really go through them, but just as a space, I would say somebody from the district and 3 people, if you're gonna, do this in a 2-3 shot opportunity, just try to limit it, the amount of people there because you're not gonna have the room to walk around and I was gonna donate 2 tables, but I'll be lucky if I can get 1 table in there to lay something out and, so you can go through and scan it or code it, however, it's gonna be done, but I encourage any volunteer that wants to step forward and help out.
I agree. Yeah. Okay. Any more? Oh, one other question. We did buy those nice
perfect blanket goes right here, you know.
Yeah.
Pick it up and you blanket, you know, 4.0.
That's super impressive. Yes, I mean, that is exactly the kind of suggestion we need, just to
Well,
make
we
sure
have
that they
other
go
things
to
that we have
students who, you know what I
leftover
mean.
gift
So,
cards, we
yeah.
have leftover books. Just trying to figure out what.
I think it's
They can use this
relevant which funding pot actually bought those blankets, and leave that decision up to that committee. You know, so we'll need a little more information about that, but I think then it would be up to, you know, and like I said, there's what, 5, 6, 7 blankets, so just keep that on your radar. Any other discussion on department materials? Okay, hearing them, we're going to move on to the Roundup fundraiser. This was a Whole Foods Co-op Roundup fundraiser. About a year and a half ago, when you first started, we had a check from Whole Foods Co-op, specifically for, at that point, we had a combined committee, Title VI and AIPAC, and we didn't totally understand, like, you know, other than it was at the discretionary use of these committees. I don't believe we spent any of that money last year when the committees were told we had to split because of different eligibilities. We said that that pot of money would then also just be split down the middle, half under control of AIPAC and half under the control of the Title VI committee. At our Title VI committee meeting was it in April, end of April, early May? You'd have to go back and look at those recordings. The Title VI committee approved to use $1,200 to support, of this Roundup funds, to support the Lincoln Park Middle School powwow. Does everyone agree that that's what happened? Okay, yep. Okay, so, and then they said the remaining funds, the Title VI committee wanted to divest themselves of that and just give it to the control of one committee, and that would have been the AIPAC committee. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we all kind of agree
so
that that's
slow.
how that went down. We assume that $1,200 was utilized, and the remaining amounts, I would have to look that up. Hold on one second, so we can give an accurate number here.
Sorry, I was in the meeting minutes for Title VI. I'm really slow on the internet right now. But it would have been, the email was April 29th. It was sometime in April. I wish I could connect to the internet. Sorry, what level of detail do you need? It's just taking me a little bit.
I just want an actual number. Hold on, I think I have it here. What the number would have been.
April
Oh, here
28th.
it is. Here it is. We've got an amount of $5,544.77. That was the amount we were given from the Whole Foods Co-op fundraiser. We 5,544.77 minus 1,200. That left a grand total of $4,344.77. And that we decided would be under the control of AIPAC.
You have a question on that?
Oh, yeah.
Danny had arranged all of this for us.
Yes, that would be great. We can hear you, Danny.
Oh, yeah, can I get an invite from Whole Foods Co-op to apply for that grant again? Do you want me to do so?
That would be incredible.
Sure.
Yes. Yes.
We may get chosen again.
Okay, I'm hearing yes.
Yes.
Okay.
If you could
There's a
provide
couple
me,
of
oh, go ahead.
schools that do those same kind of grants, do you want me to apply for them as well?
I would love that. And any support you need from us, let us know.
I will. I put together like a request last year where I got pictures from different events and those kind of things. So that would be great if I could get those again. I don't know who to contact because I haven't been at meetings for a little while, and I apologize for that.
Oh, don't worry. We're glad you're here right now, and thank you for that fundraising work. It's super appreciated, and we just want to be sure that the money is utilized. It is being utilized on our kids or in whatever manner this grant is, or you know what I mean, this opportunity is written for. So, miigwech.
Danny, you can always contact me, Amber Lightfeather.
Okay. I'll be contacting people as soon as I get more information about some of the other grants too.
Perfect. Mr. Bonds, what is the process? If we could get like the policy on if we're applying for these grants, if we're getting these monies, what is the policy and what is the process for accepting these funds?
Yes, I'll make sure that we forward that this week. So I'll send AIPAC, or have within AIPAC the policies and procedures for accepting donations and for accepting grants or writing grants.
Awesome. We'll look forward to that.
So the last time I applied for these grants, they wanted me to get a letter from the school district saying we were part of the school district and we were under your nonprofit number. Is that possible to get that as well this year?
Possibly. I want to make sure, because I'm not sure which grant we're talking about at this moment, and I'm just not part of it. So the answer is, yeah, I mean, we do have that nonprofit status, and we have done that in the past. And if as Simone reviews the grant and the grant committee reviews the information, if that's something that's needed, we will provide it. But if you could forward that information to us, that'd be great, so that we can start taking a look at the grant that's being requested.
Okay, I sure will.
I appreciate it. Just send it to both myself and Shannon and Simone Zunich.
All right.
Thank you.
Any more fundraising type discussion? Anyone wants to bring up? Yes.
So looking forward with the potential opportunity for additional grants, could there be a discussion about what those grants may be earmarked for? That also might be helpful in that
I'm going to include Danny Dumpy in that. Is there anyone else who wants to volunteer, just to kind of keep this on their radar, and if a small group wants to get together just to discuss that?
I'd be interested.
I'll volunteer.
Okay. Jen Garbo is a volunteer, Amber Whitefeather is a volunteer. Anybody else?
Take part.
All right.
If I'm available, I would love it.
You would love to? Okay, if you're available, right. It's all based on Don Melton. Awesome. I would also volunteer, Amber Green Sky, so. And obviously these are open. If you change your mind and want to be part of it, just reach out and we'll make sure to be as inclusive as we can when we're thinking about these things. Any further discussion on fundraising? Okay, hearing none, we're going to move on. This agenda item is a public report regarding an email vote to support the Lincoln Park Middle School powwow that we took. I'm going to just pull up the email. Okay. I sent out an email to AIPAC members asking if members want to table at the powwow for outreach, excuse me. I got a couple confirmations and submitted a request through Duluth Community School Collaborative for a table. AIPAC members voted to approve $200 to $400 from the Whole Foods Co-op fundraiser to buy gift cards to raffle away during the event for people who turn in our Title VI 8506 forms, our JOM forms, or signed a piece of paper with their name and information just to beef up our involvement. It just kind of was like, get involved, our kids need you. These were the, if you signed up, you were put in the raffle. We also had eight copies of Where Wolves Don't Die by Anton Schur that were donated by Amber Whitefeather, that we let people choose whether they wanted to receive a $25 gift card or a donated book. We ended the powwow with 3 gift cards remaining and 4 of the donated books remaining. I did bring the other gift cards with me, and I sent the sheet of gift card numbers and signatures to Sheila, but I want to publicly hand over these gift cards, or do I keep them? What would be the appropriate thing to do in a situation where it's from this Whole Foods Co-op fundraiser? I would need input and advice. Here's the gift cards. Do I give it to Sheila? Do I hold on to it? What's the input?
So, I have to submit them to Brett.
Okay.
And he'll put them in a vault.
He'll put them in a vault. Okay, so then we would have to reach out to Brett to get them back in the fall? Okay.
Or finance.
Or finance.
Yeah.
Okay. Or what?
Or hang on to them,
Or hang on,
coordinated discretion.
yeah. The problem is she's leaving here in a couple days.
Did you say you're leaving too?
I'm technically not,
I think they need them in,
Okay.
in the next person.
Okay.
Finance.
I am going to hand this over to you, and then we'll put it on old business to maintain on the agenda, like at every meeting. We gotta contact Brett for these gift cards until we know that they've been utilized.
And is there an expiration date on them?
I don't believe so.
It says 09/33.
Oh, no.
Well, that's a while.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go lock them up in my office.
Yep.
In my desk drawer, there's a key.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we also received a beaded hat as a grand prize at that event. Thank you, Amber. So I thought the powwow went really good. I thought we had a great turnout. You know what I mean? I really appreciate everyone who pulled together to make that Yeah, I'm glad you showed up. If there's any input you want to put here.
The feedback that we have gotten from the participants and the planners is that they would like to do it again.
They'd like to do it again. Okay.
I just like to say thanks for taking the trust and all of us, me being a factor in my 6 months in that position, art coordinator too, you know, a whole lot of like what if or, you know, not the uncertain, you know. Just thank you for taking trust in us to do that. Yeah, I think timing is what it's all about. Timing, set the date first and go from there. And also, Tori too, she's my partner too. Tori Thrash, she's the school time coordinator at Lincoln Park right now. She's a big part of the setting up too. She did a lot of the, she did the flyer.
It's still gonna be crazy the last 2 weeks. That's how
Yeah.
it pulls together. Yes, so thank you for everybody's time and commitment to it. So we should look at dates.
Yeah.
Look at the dates. Oh, go ahead.
Would there be any possibility for a place on the website to post like pictures and things? Because from a parent's perspective, when I go to I mean, you go to the Duluth Public School website, American Indian Education is under education. I'm not sure it's quite the right fit, so then you find it, and then there's not a lot of sort of current activity that would necessarily inspire other parents to feel like, you know, there's a lot going on. I could go and help and contribute, which I know there are things going on, but it's not evident, and I think it might be a missed opportunity. So, you know, I'm sure someone took pictures. It would be great to see those pictures. I wasn't able to attend, but I would love to see pictures, you know. And then other events, I know that the seniors, I think, Phyllis, you were a chaperone for the recent trip up to the North Shore Adventure Park. You know, to see those pictures, I just think it inspires people to want to engage and involve, you know, parents and things. So I don't know who could do that.
We have a library of photos from Powell that I'd be happy to share. They're also posted on the collaborative Facebook page.
We also have a guy too that's part-time photographer,
Okay.
media guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
JP,
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he's,
Okay.
Somebody
Yeah.
else.
he's, not too sure that's his department, but I might be able to hand him over,
Okay.
forward.
JP has a bunch of pictures.
Yeah.
I just think it would be really nice to have them. Beautiful. Yeah, they're really beautiful.
Yeah.
A wonderful story of the event. Yeah.
And like I said, I was surprised at the turnout. I know it was kind of, you know what I mean? Like, advertising early, I think it could be really helpful. But even as it was, I was really happy with the turnout. Anything else? Oh, just branching off on what you're saying, it would be really cool to have the district American Indian Education page updated like that to be more, you know what I mean, user-friendly, or you know what I mean, attractive, you know what I mean, and telling that story of what we've done all year. It would also be really cool, because I know you can get the different schools where we have liaisons. Do the individual schools have an American Indian Education page? If I went to Lincoln Park Middle School's, you know, school page, would they have an American Indian Education and say, oh, our liaison is Dustin Christian, and you know what I mean, this is,
Not that I'm aware of, no.
and not that, or, you know, it'd be just
My name
another
is
place
Simon.
like, these are the
Website.
events
Lots of pictures.
that they've done. That would just kind of be a really good, I don't know if there's somebody we should be partnering with in IT when they navigate those things, and then,
Yeah, I think so too. Right now, how it is, most of you probably know it's just the different schools that have their school liaisons and the names. But for my son, who is at East, it would be cool to be able to click on and see Mr. Buck and
Yes.
see like a bio of him, and then for him to even have like a few pictures or some information. Maybe there are forms or things that, you know, that is East specific.
yeah.
I don't know, it would just be more interactive, and then I think as parents, we could, as one of our tools to recruit and gain more interest, we
Yeah.
could share with folks, you know, go to the website, you know, kind of refer them back, so that they can see all of the different things.
This would be a really good thing to include in our plan under, I think it's objective or focus, like, pull it up here, under, you know what I mean, improving, you know, the identity of our American Indian students, the visibility in our schools. So that might be, you know, a really, really good suggestion to include in our American Indian education teaching fair plan. I think it would definitely fall under developing intercultural awareness among pupils, parents, and staff. If you could very easily find a web page specific in each district or each school building, because we're spread out. You know what I mean? This is a huge. The number of buildings we have is huge.
If I could just share too, I'd say one, Adele Wellens has done a fair amount of opportunities just on the main page. So I know when the powwow was about to happen and after it happened, there was pictures on our main site. But then they evolve out, and then we lose that. And the
Yeah.
other thing I think I remember from Adele's presentation to the school board last month, or the month before with Shalon, is that our website gets some readership, but if the department, if you would like to see more visibility, you have to be active on a Facebook page that you developed, but also Adele Wellens would like to have a partnership with someone, whether it's the director, to partner. Adele would like Facebook pages to kind of belong to the district, so that when someone leaves, that password isn't lost. Because that happened to us at Denfeld with some of our athletic and even my education, my speech and drama pages, is that when someone leaves and you don't have a clue what the password is, then we can't continue that page. So Adele, I think, started that journey either last year or the year before, but where you'll get the most visibility is Instagram and Facebook. And that will grow, and then, you know, as soon as you start putting that icon on the bottom of everything you do, whether it's your website, I think you get more visibility in our community.
I know there is a Facebook page that has been historically used. I'm not sure who is considered the owner of that page currently. I am on it, like I can post, but I can't. I don't have a password, and I can't
You mean the
admit people.
You mean the American Indian Education
ISD
Facebook?
709, yeah.
Facebook page?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gray has control of that.
Gray has control of that. Okay, so then
But
she
if
could.
you can
yeah.
post on it, she must have made you an administrator.
I don't think I'm an administrator because I can't do all functions. You know what I mean? I can only post. I get like the messages.
You're pretty close to an
Yeah.
administrator.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Anthony Bonds.
Oh, thank you. You're correct. I highly doubt that you would have access, but Gray does have access. So she can partner with Adele to make any updates or modifications. And Adele will be more than happy to also come to a future meeting to talk about what is possible in terms of enhancements for the website, as well as, you know, communicating out all of the events and so forth. So I encourage putting Adele as a future agenda item to come in and talk about those things?
Okay, that's a great suggestion. Yeah, I'm just pulling it up. I have task access and that's it. So, yeah, I can post, but then you know what I mean? I'm not sure what is appropriate there. So, I think
Sounds good. And looks like John has joined us, and I think he has a hand up as well.
Okay, cool. Again, this is something that absolutely could and should be put in our state aid grant plan. It falls under Area 4 as well, provide positive reinforcement of the self-image of American Indian pupils, you know what I mean? That increased visibility would be really, really important to have in our plan and refer back to, like, this is what we said we wanted to do. Where are we at with it? So I think that's great.
Looks like John has his hand raised before we move on.
Go ahead.
Hi, yeah, I just wanted to say thank you, Big Witch, for inviting me to the meeting. I'm driving back from, my son graduated in Wisconsin, and so I'm driving back through a rainstorm. So I'm listening and really appreciate all the work that's going on. But I supervise and work directly with Adele, and I'd be glad to help partner with the committee in making sure that we have updates as desired. So really appreciate the idea. I think it's really a good forward-facing, positive idea. Thank you.
Sounds good. Does anyone else have any suggestions in this vein of updating, websites, Facebook pages, making sure it's included in the plan?
I do think that being that there's so many avenues of like Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all of these different, I don't know which ones are appropriate, but I think more than just one model is, the more, within reason, right? But still probably more.
Appreciate it. Yeah, those things are just good for advertising when we're doing events and making sure our community knows about what's going on in the district and what we're doing, because that's so important. I'll be honest, there's a mentality that we don't know what Indian education's doing in Duluth. So we need that to change. We need people to know the good things we're doing and where we need improvements. And state statute says our community is the one who will tell us how we can move forward best. Our community knows where, you know what I mean, where we can improve and how we can improve. We just have to get them to the table. We have to bring the table to them, actually. So that's all I have for that. I'm just going to move back. Does anyone have any further questions about that email vote, the gift cards, or the donations from the powwow? Any further discussion on that? Okay, hearing none, we're going to move on to new business. I have on here a reference letter, or a letter of support. So in Minnesota, there's a significant need for more Indigenous teachers to match the state's diverse student population. While Indigenous students make up a substantial portion of the K-12 student body, the percentage of Indigenous teachers is considerably lower. I think we all can agree with that, right? There is a pathway to Tier 1 or Tier 2 teaching licenses for American Indians, and through TNEC, the Tribal Nations Education Committee. Part of those requirements include a letter of support from a person's tribe to get like this Tier 1, Tier 2, or Tier 3 teaching license for Ojibwe, Dakota, or American Indian language, culture, and history license. I was speaking with our TNEC representative about, what are the options for people, because Fond du Lac teacher prep programs, right? And that's one of the components needed for this Tier 1 or Tier 2 license, along with a letter of support from this committee and this community saying, this is a person who's been in Duluth Public Schools teaching Indigenous content, providing instructional support, making those curriculum connections for our teachers. This would be a way to recognize them for the knowledge that they have and ensure that they're paid appropriately for that knowledge. So that is something I would really, really like us to develop a framework of a letter that a person could supply to TNEC or to the PELSB, the public educators licensing board. Is that what that? Okay. Yes, they had a whole presentation at the MIA conference specific about that. This letter is very necessary, but if you didn't grow up with your tribe and you go and say 3 states over, hey, here I am, I grew up in Ojibwe country and I've been doing all this, and they're like, I don't know who you are. And we as a community know who they are, and we as a community can support them and in this way. So I guess what I'm asking, go ahead.
Do we have somebody asking for a letter? Is that what you're saying?
I am asking for to be able to provide a letter for one of our liaisons who is currently in a teacher training program.
Tier 1, to have a Tier 1 license, to get a Tier 1 license, you have to have a bachelor's degree.
Or
And
there's
then-
exceptions.
Well, I'm just looking at the medium
Yep.
right now. And have a job offer. Okay. I guess I appreciate that and I support providing letters, but it's like, if we're providing a letter, shouldn't we talk to the person?
We absolutely should. That should
Okay,
be part of the
that's what I'm
process.
asking.
This is just me
Yes,
like
that's
trying to
what I'm
introduce the process, I guess, for how would we so we have language, culture, and history requirements based on the legislative updates that have happened in 2023. Our school districts are required to provide these classes, and we have a shortage of people qualified to teach them, right? But we know we have people in the community who are qualified to teach them. How do we, you know what I mean? It is necessary to coalesce this problem. I consider it a problem, right? We're told as school districts, we need language, culture, and history pertaining to American Indian in our curriculum. Do we lean on our liaisons who are, paid para scale? Not even as instructional, you know what I mean, an instructional para as a homeschool liaisons? Do we lean on them to lead these cultural...
Unfairly, right? Unfairly.
We are stealing their knowledge for pennies. And they do it because they love our kids. They believe they need to share this knowledge. And I'm just saying we need to support them in getting a fair wage for this knowledge, I guess, I would like that to be something that this committee works on.
And a letter would get them, what, more pay, or what is that what you're saying, or?
Yes. They
Do
would then...
you want me to read what the...
More pay and a title.
Are you saying like the liaison, if they
Would they get the licensure from PELSB?
His letter.
That's what the letter would ensure, is that PELSB would check all the other qualifications that you're gonna read off their website.
There has to be there has to be a job offer, and there has to be an agreement between the person with the job offer and the district, and then they work together to get the Tier 1 licensure. Yes, yep, that Tier 1
You're right, there probably
license,
should be a
which is
job
good for
offer.
1 year.
Yes, and it's only for 1 year. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go right ahead.
Couple of questions, Jim Gargle here. Is this what's referred to as an eminence credit?
No, they don't do evidence credits anymore.
Okay.
They've changed it, so you have to fill out a specific...
I would qualify for that.
There's a specific licensure you have to Jen Murray as our Fond du Lac alternate representative, and that's who gave me this information. And then we have Tara Doopy as the official Fond du Lac representative for TNEC.
Can I just add a little bit of context?
Yes.
Okay. So, just kind of in a nutshell, that was a good question. So TNEC, Tribal Nations Education Committee, they are an organization that is across the state and in different regions. So they have different representatives. Northwest right now does not have, our area doesn't have a representative. I applied, and it takes some time, and it goes before MIAC. So the Minnesota Indian Affairs Council needs to, in closed session, their first day, vote and approve, or not approve, of the TNEC representative. So my my application was approved, and I left within probably a week or two. So it is vacant. I was at the last MIAC meeting up in Boysport a couple of weeks ago, speaking to Lori Harper, who is probably, well, she's the chairperson of TNEC, and she's over at Leech Lake. She's the education director for Leech Lake and has been involved for a long time. She said there's a number of applicants that they're looking at. They have a decent pool, and so probably within the next 6 months or so there will be a representative. But it is an important group to get involved with, and so that's just a little bit of what I have to share. But my question, Amber, and you answered it with Jen, but would they have example letters, or, so I'm thinking of Fond du Lac specifically, since they're close. Is it possible that Jen or someone could come and speak to the parents about what it looks like for them? Like, has it been successful? How often do people request these types of letters and things like that? So just providing some additional context.
I think that's a great idea, and I think I can reach out to TNEC and ask them to recommend a representative to come and do that for us, as that would be like a work session or a meeting to tell us how would we do something, how would we develop policy for this AIPAC to do this.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, this is just about establishing policy and process. Because it's important, it's needed, it's necessary. And TNEC is a crucial, you know what I mean, piece of that. And they would be ultimately the ones advocating with healthy to grant a licensure. And that's the tier 1 license or tier 2 license, that information came from Jen, because you know what I mean, when I was reading, it was like, do you go immediately to tier 3? But they would definitely need a letter from their tribe to go that route. But I asked specifically, how can the AIPACs in the state, right? Because we need the teachers. Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess I'm asking for clarification, I guess, because it sounds like the letter needs to come from the tribe. So what letter would AIPAC provide?
It would basically be similar, because the tribes would have their own processes for how they write this letter, and each tribe would have a different process for what is needed, right? So that was my question to Jen Murray. What happens when you have an American Indian community member who's lived their whole life in this community and are saying, you know what I mean, I do this, if let's say they're Seminole, you know what I mean, or Apache, and they grew up here.
Well, I think maybe I'm not asking, I might not be articulating my question the right way. Like, so the letter
What does that
Thank
have to do
you for
with
that
licensure?
clarification.
It's required,
Okay.
it's
So-
required. A letter of support is required for American Indian language, history, and culture teaching license.
So the school district has to offer these jobs by statute anyways, and then we don't have the people to fill them.
That's what the problem
They
is.
have to, yeah, they have to provide the content, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily coming from American Indian or indigenous.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then ultimately, isn't it
It's
Pelsby that's gonna grant the variance? They're
And
gonna
it's
get all the
Pelsby that-
information,
yeah.
they're gonna get the letter from AIPAC, they're gonna look at the college, the college credits that this candidate has.
Yep.
And it's gonna be Pelsby that will eventually tell the school district whether or not that, and I sit on the board of school administrators, so I'm granting licensures very much similar to what you're talking about, but on the administrative level, at the state level. So I'm kind of a Pelsby, but I'm on the school administrators. And we go through all of the credits, we go through the letters, we go through, and then we grant whether or not they're meeting all those conditions. And sometimes we'll send it back to the district's committee because maybe they're missing one thing. Maybe they're missing, we don't just automatically say, no, we're not gonna grant this variance. We say, we did not get this from your application. If we get it, and then the variance is only good for a period, and you can come back for another variance sometimes. If you don't, you have to get something in that time frame, I think. That's my 2 cents.
Is there a shortfall in amount of people that are teaching, teaching?
We don't know that, I don't think.
Well,
I mean,
I
because-
have a middle school
Yeah.
student. They haven't been offered any language classes. So
I'm just thinking some of that content is probably provided through social studies type curriculum. I actually don't know. I don't work at home.
Right.
But that's where I am imagining the curriculum wise.
Is this class being offered at the high school? Is that where the legislators, and maybe John can help, is that where the legislators said this class has to be offered, is as an elective within the high school?
It's within secondary, so it includes middle school.
Okay.
And it is, it says here, culture and language classes, any district or participating school that conducts American Indian education programs with 5% or 100 or more state-identified American Indian students, which we do have that, must provide American Indian culture and language classes. So a culture and language class has to be taught by a culture and language certified teacher, correct? Maybe? Yeah.
Well, I don't think so necessarily, because
Yeah.
if you went to school and you studied the appropriate classes, and as long as you have the,
I think that's where a variance comes in, because you can apply for a variance to teach outside of your scope.
yeah, if you took the classes, you know what you're talking about, you can probably teach the class, right? So I don't necessarily think you need. However, if there is a shortfall of teachers and we have people already in the community that can do the job, But yes, as for last school year, that was not offered to my child.
So it just, and this is new legislation,
Yeah, it's new
right?
legislation.
This is new legislation, so there's a growth period, and this is how we as a community, as an AIPAC, as this district's recognized AIPAC, this is how we can support them meeting these requirements, these statutory requirements, because we do know our community, you know what I mean? So I guess I am just suggesting, and I'm hoping other people are on board with establishing policy and procedure for providing letters of support if a teacher or not a teacher, if a person in the community wants to become a, licensed language, culture, and history.
I think I would be eligible for this. Because I know we have someone on my tribe who's our language and culture teacher who did also use this process. And they had mentioned to me that I could do that as well if I wanted, but I'm already in a program, so I would be interested to help develop this, though, talking about the framework for creating the letter.
Okay, cool. Do we need to take a vote on this, or can we just develop a subcommittee to
How many people would want to be on a subcommittee for?
Go ahead. Just about.
Thank you. And you're right. This is needed in terms of we need to be exploring all of these opportunities that could diversify our staff and have folks in place who have the language and the culture to teach various classes. This is actually what we are trying to accomplish. Teresa Severance, our executive director of HR, shared the recruitment and retention plan. She would be a great resource to, again, come into one of the meetings and discuss what this actually looks like in practice. So even after the individual receives the licensure or the tier 1, well, what does that mean in the district? Teresa would be a great resource to come in, explain, how what the candidate will experience, or how this plays out with putting not students, IB students, but where they will fall on the pay schedule and so forth according to the contract, because there's contract language that also comes into play when it comes to placing individuals' roles. So again, Teresa would be a great person to have some early conversations with around the development of what you're looking to do and how it actually plays out in practice for hiring.
Sounds good. We will make sure that we keep Ms. Severance in our minds when we're meeting and we're working on this policy and process. I saw, Teague, you said you would be interested in being on a subcommittee for this?
Yeah.
Okay. Jen, were you interested?
I would be interested in providing maybe a little bit of ancillary support, like reviewing documents and things like that. Unless I switch this, because now I'm interested in both of these new subcommittees, but I also am trying to be mindful of my time. Like, I don't want to spread myself too thin. But I am available too. I mean, I imagine it's not going to be. I mean, there's a for subcommittees. There's a beginning and an end.
Yep,
like,
exactly.
So,
Anyone else want to volunteer ever? Awesome. I would also, I'm interested in it. I've done a lot of research in what this might look like. And like I said, maybe we get a TNEC representative to meet with our subcommittee and Teresa Severance. You know what I mean?
I'm an Indigenous commissioner. I'm on the education subcommittee for the commission. And we write letters like this too, so I could get the commission to also write a letter for our community.
Okay.
I would suggest that we reach out to Lori Harper and ask her to join us.
Okay.
Because she gives a really good broad statewide perspective about things that are going on, and she may know more than just kind of regional. Like, regional is great, but I think for this we should explore like what's happening across the state, and then look at what could be some unintended consequences, right? Is it something new that we're interested in doing? Just doing the benefits of it, but also looking at what might, and some of that might be where Teresa comes in terms of like the contract and that kind of thing, because if we don't have the school district and HR kind of figured out in terms of what is acceptable there, we could do spend a lot of time doing a lot of really good work and then kind of get log jammed with that. And so we want to make sure that we're communicating simultaneously as we're moving forward with this. But I think this is a great idea. I think it provides opportunity for a measure of equity. If we look statistically at how many American Indian adults graduate with their bachelor's degree and then go on to be teachers, it's like threading the eye of a needle statistically. So whatever we can do to support that, I think that is, as John mentioned, forward thinking. I think that this is forward thinking.
Okay. Well, I think we have enough support to move forward with the subcommittee, and we'll do some work and bring it back to the full committee in the future. Any more discussions surrounding a letter of support for American Indian teachers, American Indian district employees, American Indian counselors, adult American Indian people enrolled in educational programs, and American Indian community members. Like, basically how I interpreted that what was said is that if you fall into that category and you're at a meeting, you are a voting committee member. Is that how other people who attended interpreted that guidance?
I interpret it as we could still set our parameters about who could be a voting member, but there could be members, not necessarily voting members. She mentioned something about having, like, you could say they have to have 80% attendance or come 3 meetings in a row, so that we have some consistency, is what my understanding. But other people might have interpreted it differently.
That is the
Oh, we
way
would
I
have-
heard it. Okay. And then, yeah, just looking to your, but, yeah.
So our bylaws were written without that information, and they were modeled off of a previous, before that legislation happened and before our eligibility shifted.
I guess my question would be then, wouldn't you have to change your bylaws?
We would, we absolutely
So,
would, and that's how I interpreted that,
Yeah.
that training to tell us. We
Sorry.
needed to change the bylaws, and I guess my question is, how do we prevent, like, we haven't been able to get committee information out to our community this whole year. You know what I mean? How do we get people to show up when they don't know what dates to come in? Go ahead.
The ones we would have to vote for would be chair, co-chair, and the secretary.
Yep, yep.
So that does have to happen.
That absolutely, yes, we absolutely need that, and I guess that's what we need to define is who votes for those people, right?
Well, any eligible voter.
And I guess I interpreted any eligible voter to be under all those people that follow. So like, if we were to vote tonight to have a chair, and everyone in this, whoever's in this room who falls under those membership, I would assume they get to vote for their chair, the person who represents them as a community member, the person that represents them as an American Indian parent in this district, right? Or are you saying this little tiny closed group gets to say, oh, we just picked between this small group without including our community? There's been a lot of shifts legislatively, you know what I mean, that we have to take into account. So I guess this is something where we do need, consensus on how do we move, forward inclusively.
Going back to what Brenda stated, I'm just going to try to clarify what I think I heard from you is that your AIPAC committee could also work with your bylaws to say, yes, it can be that inclusive, or it could be inclusive, but in order to come and vote on anything that is on the agenda to be voted on, here are 3 more conditions or things that our bylaws say for that voting to happen would be 80% attendance, or 3 meetings in a row, or whatever this committee decides. Because couldn't you see, even without being able to vote, because I don't have any of those qualifications, one, how do I prove that? I could come and say any of those things. Or even if not, if you have important votes coming up and your bylaws follow that general specific, then any one of us could pack this room on any given night for any given vote to make sure it goes their way.
Yep.
And I know that sounds sinister, but
It happens.
in today's world, I would think that the integrity of your AIPAC parent committee would be that these are parents that have been involved, that have listened to other meetings, have read the minutes, which you should actually have all the time, and be able to then have a truly representative vote instead of just, and that would just, that would be my 2 cents from coming tonight.
And I absolutely appreciate that. As far as what the bylaws that we signed and approved this year, let's see, where does it talk about amending our bylaws? These bylaws may be amended at any regular meeting of the AIPAC. So this is our last regular meeting of the AIPAC. These bylaws then don't exist after this because we don't, you know what I mean? According to our bylaws, to call for meetings, that is required by,
Well, we have bylaws in place that we can go off, we just need to update them. And
according to our bylaws, it has to happen at a regular meeting. This is our last regular meeting.
Okay. We're gonna have to call a meeting.
It would have to call, like, we would need to call a meeting, and it would have to be community inclusive, is I guess what I'm saying, is we can't just have this small group and say, oh, this is our voting committee membership forever, and we don't add anybody else, that we need a first organizational meeting, correct? Like, do we all agree on that, where we set our schedule, where we elect our officers, and it has to be inclusive of all these, it has to be open to.
You're gonna have to call a meeting to gather people.
Yep.
To go over the bylaws.
Yep.
To set them in place, to have an
Yep.
election for the 3 people
Yep.
that need to be voted in,
Yep.
and it should be done before next school year.
Yep. I absolutely agree with this.
So you can call a meeting.
I'm still, me and Amber are still chairs right
That's
now.
what I'm saying.
So we can call a meeting tonight and say, in July or in August, we are going to have a meeting that we need the district to put notice out to our American Indian parents in the district. Like, we don't have that information. I have some that I can, reach out to people who have given me their information, but that is in no way inclusive, you know what I mean, of everyone who's on we have 766 American Indian students, and you know what I mean, that are self-identified. So every single parent should at least get that first organizational meeting, like, hey, we are establishing our AIPAC, we are agreeing to bylaws, and we are accepting nominations for officers. I mean, is that appropriate? Go ahead.
And in my opinion, I think that that time should also be fun.
Super fun. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that there could be a bit of a joyous occasion. It could be promoted in such a way that there's food and there's games. Even if it was like some demonstrations of traditional games. People love games, and people really love traditional games. I mean,
should have something, but, I mean, to bribe people to come,
Yeah,
you know, that's,
well, I don't know if it's bribe, it would be bribe if we were
that's the only
handing
way we
out
can
gift
count.
cards.
All year, we have not had, nobody showing up at
We
meetings.
feast for events, so it's
Yeah.
not that big of a deal to try.
Yeah, I
and
mean, if we were
get
handing
people
out
in.
gift cards, like, if you sign your name, then you get a gift card, that is totally unethical, but to promote an event that's fun and inclusive, and I mean, who knows, there may not be very many people that show up, it may take some time for it to kind of catch on, and you can build some momentum maybe, and it could be like a yearly thing, but, or maybe it's a picnic, you know, where it doesn't have to be as expensive if it's cost prohibitive, you know, just something to engage engage others that may not even know or are somewhat interested but haven't felt like maybe there's an open invitation.
Yeah, I think, like you were saying, feasting is a part of our culture, and including food at an organizational event where we're trying to drum up, you know, people to show up and you know, discuss these things. Food always helps. So like, you know, I think it also falls under like those focus areas in our state aid grant that would be approved for use of state aid grant funds. Because this APAC is, not this APAC, but an APAC is required. So,
I don't know if I'm following here, but are we not having an election? So for Title VI, we have committee members for 2 years, and then we have chair positions for 1 year. So we just need to reshuffle our deck for Title VI. But we can have up to 12 members for Title VI.
right, but okay, so this is where Title VI, according to our Title VI grant, has to have an election at an open public meeting. That's a requirement in that grant language.
Okay, so I have to have we just have to have our own separate, because it's different.
Title VI committee we have been told these committees have to separate. That's been some of the difficulties that we've had is trying to separate these three pots of money, these three committees that have historically been melded together, and we've been told that they cannot be the same.
Okay, so for Title VI, we'll have to come up with, ooh, yeah.
There would have to be an open public meeting, probably in the fall, where we're saying, come in, here's what our grant was last year, here's what we got approved for, but we need a Title VI committee next year because that's a requirement when the Title VI grant is applied for. APAC, at our training, we were told that, I guess I understood, yes, I agree with what you were saying, that we can decide who our voting members are. But I guess, does this small group get to decide that, or is it decided by the larger community? I think that's what we need to
I would say, yeah, have an open public meeting, advertise it and say, we're inviting new members. We have this committee, this is its role, this is how we fill it. I mean, that's what we did the last time.
Yeah. And I mean, Betsy said, like, our roster, we have for everything we submit, our roster can change, right? Our roster in the fall, or when the roster that's included with our grant application is not necessarily the same roster that we submit with annual compliance, because there is an expectation that our committees change, and that we don't just say, oh, this is the only 4 people who get to decide anything. Oh, this is the only 6 people that get to decide anything. I guess that's, and go ahead, what?
What do you mean have to? I would love if more people showed up, you know?
Yep.
I know JOI, we need people. I don't know how we're gonna get them. I guess we don't have an election too, right? We can add these Right.
You know what I mean? So that would be something we need to say, Fond du Lac, we need your help here. Is this appropriate, with this change in eligibility? They are our fiscal agent,
Tara would help us out with anything we wanted. It's just,
Yeah.
So I would make a recommendation that both Ambers make a recommendation before the end of this month to set something in place so it's set now. Then we can work off of that.
Should we just set it? No?
I
Should we
would
just
say
pick a date?
let's just set it and include it in our plan, like an August APAC outreach event that we will, provide food for.
I would do it August 1st right away. That give you a month to work on this. You got school coming up.
August 1st is a Friday.
Yep.
Who would we
So a
have to
fun
work with?
Friday food event for APAC?
Yeah, food event for APAC. Even do it like, I know one of the liaisons mentioned, end of the school year picnic at Park Point, as something that's historically happened. I don't know if that happened this year, but that might be a good thing to do.
An outdoor event.
An outdoor event, kind of at a, a public space, somewhere that's accessible. So, I recommend this be added into the plan. I'm okay with an August 1st date. And, have kind of a picnic, followed by a APAC meeting to establish.
Okay, August 1st is a Friday. August 1st is a Friday.
Is that okay?
That's okay for me.
Okay.
Friday,
I
August
think that's
1st.
appropriate.
Don?
I'm not in.
What?
I'm not in APAC.
Oh my
Go
God.
ahead, Anthony Vaughn.
And whatever is determined, of course, with support, we have real wellness here all summer. We have others here who will be able to make sure we send communication out to variety forms to families. So just let us know.
Sounds good. Do we have anyone volunteering to be a subcommittee who wants to kind of take point on making sure an event gets planned?
Oh, I think we have an election subcommittee.
Amber, Lydia, and me.
I'd throw myself on there just to make sure this gets done.
Okay.
Okay. I think we can move on from that. Was there anything else relevant to the APAC training that changes how this APAC functions or has historically functioned that anyone can recall and we need to discuss? Nope. Okay. Moving on.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Oh, go ahead.
We're at 7:22. We have it until 7:30?
Just 7:30?
Well, I think we can stay until 9, but, I mean, it's already 2 hours in.
We do have to do a jail.
We still have to have a JOM meeting, yeah.
Go ahead, Anthony Vaughn.
Thank you, and thank you for surfacing that. I too am concerned about the time only because I want to make sure that there is time to discuss the and
What do you think?
Can you repeat that?
yeah, my question, I said I too am concerned about the time right now, only because I want to make sure there is adequate time for the committee to, and if they're getting it crafted.
See, Director White, when anybody comes on the screen, if you can turn your mic off, I think they would be clearer, I think. I'm not sure.
He doesn't know that we didn't hear him.
So Anthony, can you repeat it?
Well,
Yep.
now it's me.
I can't hear you, but if you can hear me, what I was sharing is I want to make sure there's ample time for the committee to discuss the drafted American Indian Ed plan. And so time is, of the essence. And so I want to make sure that with all the meetings and the number of items still left on the agenda, that there is time to discuss the plan.
And now Sheila, turn your mic back on.
Sheila, can you turn your mic back, not the mic back on, but at least the maybe, because we can't hear anything.
Okay, so moving on, we have the FY 2024 MDE adjustment. We had gotten an email early May saying that MDE took back $105,930.56 from the district related to our Indian education funds. That's correct? Yep. Okay. In that same email, the restricted balance or restricted funds that was mentioned in last year's audit, right, for American Indian Education Fund of, I believe it was $114,000. Let me see here. I guess I need clarification. So is that restricted fund, that $114,000 that was reserved or restricted, is that being used to cover this $105,000 that was taken back? How does that work? I guess I need input on that. Did we have a net loss of $220,000 in direct student supports from Indian Ed? Am I interpreting that right?
No.
No?
114, so they take, MDE takes 90% of the 114. And then they'll take the final amount.
MDE took 90% of the 114. That was the restricted balance. Okay. So we have okay, so how, this reserve, we still then have like what? What's 105 minus, or 114 minus 105?
9,000.
We have about $9,000 remaining in this restricted reserve.
Yeah, someone can answer that. Simone, are you there?
Good evening, yes, I'm here. Yes, correct. You're probably going to hear me in echo 2 again. I apologize for that. That is correct. The restricted fund balance was the 114. They removed 105 of it. What they do when they do adjustments through MDE, they do roughly 90%, and then the remaining amount, if they do take it, will happen in the next 3 to 4 months. Once we start sending in our UFARS files to MDE, we will start our audit process on August 4th. And they're most likely the remaining of that 9,000 will be taken back as well.
Okay. And that just applies to that restricted fund and not anything that was spent last year as far as our, what was our grant amount, 354,000? They said that was all.
That's correct.
Okay.
You're correct, Amber. Yes, it does not affect the current, we have, 4 days left, 5 days left in our current fiscal year. This was from the 23-24 adjustment. It has nothing to do with this fiscal year.
It has nothing to do with this fiscal year. Okay. So that adjustment was related to funds not spent in fiscal year 23?
She can't hear you.
Oh,
Sorry.
so just
23-24 school year. That is correct.
So a year ago.
Yes.
So I'm just trying to wrap my head around what is being said here. Fiscal year 24 is last year.
That's correct.
Yep, and we had a $114,000 reserve or restricted balance at the end of last year. That wasn't spent for this, and MD took that back. So, I guess how does something like that happen? Like, why wasn't these funds spent?
Well, the funds in that department were not spent down, so we have to report that there are still remaining funds. And MDE established a restricted fund balance starting in FY24, so they weren't parked there, so to speak. And MDE on April 30th reviewed all restricted fund balances, and there were certain guidelines for them taking that money back. And it just shows up in what we call our IDEAS payments. School districts receive payments from the MDE twice a month, on the 15th and the 30th of the month. And on the 30th of April, there was an adjustment to the $105,000.
Okay. I guess my question.
And I called MDE to verify it, and it was correct.
I guess my question is, why wasn't the spend down reported to this AIPAC last year so that those funds could be spent?
I can't answer that question. I don't do the spending in that department, so I apologize. I can't answer that question.
So we find ourselves in a similar position this year as we were in last year. As far as I know, once again, no spend down was reported to us, even though like staffing wise we are in almost an identical situation. Are we looking at losing another $105,000 next year?
Sheila, would you like to answer that? Rate of making sure those funds are spent this fiscal year?